Hey guys, welcome back to Building Southlake. I'm not going to say the episode because I'm actually not sure what episode this is going to end up being, just in case any audio or anything messes up. Okay, so I figured today, I've been looking at some pictures of real life cities like New York, this main cities like that. And I'm trying to figure out like some good ideas for making it kind of realistic. And I realized I want to have a highway. So right here is a highway. But I want to have one that's kind of underground, like kind of like underground, but not really. I don't know how to describe it. All I know how to say is we're going to be using a lot of TNT and stone for this. So we're going to use TNT and we're just going to try to figure out where we want it to be. So each lane, I like the size of these lanes over here. So what, this is only 11? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so we will need a lot of TNT. Okay. So, I want to go over a couple of things while we're doing this, while we're blowing this up. But first, let's figure out where we want to blow it up at. Maybe right here be good. So, we're going to start it right here, is where this highway is going to start. Okay, so anyways, what I want to go over is the highway we were just over at, the gray one. People keep saying in the comments like, oh, it's not realistic because the highway lanes are 3 blocks wide, to where the lanes in the actual city, like the black roads over here, they are 5 blocks wide. And people are like, oh, well, that's not realistic, blah blah blah. And so I kind of want to put that to rest and like why I was doing that and why I am doing that. And the reason for that is the 3 lanes is a perfect size, and at least from a distance it looks very realistic having it that close. And the main thing is that I'm trying to think like the best way to describe this without it making sense. So each road is the exact same length, so they're like each side of the road is 11 blocks wide, and that's, oh, we need to move these back actually. Whoopsie daisies. Alright, let's move this back. Well, that sucks. Probably should have looked at that first. And so people keep saying, well, that's not realistic at all. And the problem is, if I would have made each lane 5 blocks wide, the highway is actually going to look too big, so it's actually not going to look realistic. So that's why I kind of went with the 3 wide lanes, was to kind of make it more realistic when you're actually looking at it. Yes, from a realistic point of view, that's not exactly realistic, but from a viewer's point of view, it is more realistic, if that makes sense. So just in case people are like wanting to know like why I did that, there's kind of your answer now. It wasn't because I realized that the highway lanes are 3 blocks wide, but I also realized that not all, let's see, TNT should go here. There we go. Everything is already here. Now we can put a lot of TNT down. So basically, like, this highway, it's not going to go underground, but it's just going to be like into the earth. So you're going to still see it from a top-down point of view, but it's just going to be submerged. So basically what it does is it allows the highway to not be up in the air, which we are going to have some of those too. Well, if you do want to make a road, I use TNT for my roads. Make sure you don't put TNT like 1 block away from each other, because then it's going to go flying. If you put it every 2 blocks, it actually works out even better, because it just keeps going off and off. And then every now and then you kind of have to place another redstone torch, but it just makes things a lot easier for you in the long run. So if you want my advice, that'd probably be how to make roads. I mean, not all of them are meant to be, like, they don't all have to be like 2 blocks wide. You could have that one that is only 1 block, but just for an overall better, I said better really weird there, better look and easier for you, I would go with this. And TNT. And while we're waiting for that to explode, let's go sleep and wait for that so we can actually get to our daytime here. And yep, still exploding. And well, see what I'm talking about. Every now and then you have to kind of relight it, so you want to keep an eye on it. But so I'm still not exactly sure. Oh, it's glitching down here. Oh, I cannot wait for the Xbox One version of Minecraft. So speaking of that, at the time of this recording, one thing that kind of happened was that Minecraft PS4 is already in certification testing, but somehow Microsoft Xbox One Minecraft is not. They're still bug fixing it. like, what could be the difference between the two? I mean, there can't be that many differences, right? They're both 99% of the exact same console. I mean, there's tiny differences, but not really. So, like, I was kind of confused when I heard that. It's like, what's the difference between them? I mean, I was just kind of confused by it. Oh man. Let's see. I just figured about, well, we might have to, well, that's gonna run into some problems because down here is pretty long. Huh. I'm sure we can figure something out for that, so we'll come back to it. Okay. So let's put some more TNT down. Yay! Probably put it here. Oh, don't want to have that one right off the bat. That'd be a bad thing. So basically, this needs to be 22 blocks would be how wide the roads are going to be when you combine the two. Hey, look at that. Math in my head. Which I'm actually not good at doing math in my head. So you make fun of me all you want, but it's just one of those things to where I can't really do math in my head. Plus, we're going to have maybe 2 or 3 blocks here in the middle in between each lane for like pillars and stuff for the road above it that goes across. There's enough room for the pillars for the bridge because it's basically like a mini bridge. So that's about 23 blocks is how much space we're gonna have. So you kind of think like how big this is gonna be. And again, that's also another reason why it's a good advantage to use 3-lane highways. Because to me, this looks better. I mean, yes, and if, like I said earlier, from a realistic point of view, not the best, but from a viewer's point of view, it's the better idea. Huh. So, I just need to figure out how I want to do the highway now, because we ran into that problem. I don't want to turn the highway just yet. That's kind of stupid. Alright. Just here, we'll come back to that one. We basically need to get rid of all this. Yeah, roads like this and stuff would be a lot easier to do on the PC. So, a couple people in the comments have been saying I could do videos on the PC. Question is, like, is it really necessary? I mean, yes, this does take a little bit longer because we don't have world edit and all that. So it does take a little bit longer. Sorry if you can hear my controller, by the way. Yeah, but people are just like, they think I'm kind of like a cheater to some extent for using the PC. It's like, only thing I use PC for is like I keep preaching this in a lot of the videos just because I see a lot more stuff popping up. It's like people are just saying like, oh, that's kind of cheating that you're using PC to do all this stuff, blah blah blah. And I forgot to go on busy. Also, my game is on open, so anybody can join really. I'm probably gonna, every time I record on here, I'm going to leave the game on open so people can join. Because people like to be in videos, so most likely be on busy most of the time. I'm not right now, but oh man, we might go on busy though. That's kind of annoying. So how's everybody doing today? Hopefully you guys are doing pretty well. And also at the time of this recording, a sad piece of news basically came to the movie community, to the world really, that Robin Williams has passed away, which is a very sad thing. I mean, he was a great actor. I know I didn't watch too many of his movies. I didn't see all of them. And I never really watched like his stand-up comedy. Oh, we need to light this back up. But I could tell, like, just from what I watched, even though I watched very little of his stuff, he was a great actor and a very good comedian. So it's definitely sad to see him pass away because a lot of people did love him. He was a very good actor. He was good at everything he did. And from what I've been told, he was also one of the nicest people you're ever going to meet. And this is like a really sad moment because nobody likes to see actors pass away that they're part of your childhood. Because that's exactly it. They were part of your childhood. So that's the hardest part for people. I mean, the movie I remember him for most, in was Jumanji, I think was the name of the movie. And also Mrs. Doubtfire, which are 2 classic movies that if you haven't seen, shame on you. They're amazing movies. Basically, Robin Williams was a big part of the 90s. Don't get me wrong, he was a big part all around, all the time. But in my opinion, I think he had a lot of good movies in the 90s. And that's when I was born. I was born in 1994, so I grew up watching some of his movies and stuff like that. So it is a hard time to see. Well, it is hard to see him go because again, he was very loved and a lot of people are gonna miss him. I mean, that's just the whole point of it. I mean, it was just one of those. He's one of those guys that even though he was battling depression, and apparently he was battling depression for a very long time, which is something not to joke about, because depression is a serious illness. It's not something that people can control. So if you do have depression, talk to somebody, go to a therapist. It's not, if you know somebody who does suffer from depression, it's a very big deal. I mean, it's not a small deal. But from what I've been told and what I've heard, he was one of those people that, even though he wasn't feeling his best, if he could tell you weren't happy, he would do his best to make sure you were happy. So he's one of those people who he put himself last and put you first. And those kind of people are always the best people to me because it shows how much they care. Because sometimes it's kind of hard to see how much people care. Because, I don't know, it's like, I don't know how to describe it. I'm going to miss him. I'm going to miss his movies. But apparently he has 4 movies that will be coming out in the next couple years. I don't know the names of them. I just got that from ETC on Machinima's main channel. So if you want to go figure those out and watch those. It's just a really sad time for the world, really. Just because he was so good at acting and a great comedian. He even extremely supported the military, which most, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of good actors and stuff out there. Whoop, we're going to have to fill that up. But a lot of them, they went over there for publicity for them. They wanted to be known like, look, I'm a good person. I can do this. I do this for the troops. And not all of them are like that, but unfortunately, that's what some famous people do. They go over there, it's like, look, I'm going over here. I'm being a good person. And usually they only go over there once, maybe twice. Apparently, Robin Williams went over there several times, probably around 10 times, and he would talk to around 90,000 people. I mean, he would try his very best to talk to every single last one of them. And that's not an easy thing to do, guys. That's, like we said, 90,000 people. So, it was a very hard time. I know my parents, I haven't talked to them about it yet, because I haven't talked to them ever since that day yet. So, it'll be interesting to see like what they think of it. I mean, we didn't know them or know him in person. We just grew up watching his movies. So it's hard not to have a huge connection because I didn't know him in person. It's still sad, but if it was somebody in my family that passed away, it's more sad, obviously, because you know them, you had a relationship with them. But all of our thoughts go out to the friends and family of Robin Williams because this is a tough time, especially to his wife and his daughter. That's just a really sad moment for both of them, and hopefully they make it through this all right. Yeah, so it's just one of those things that depression is a serious thing. Nobody should take it as a joke. It's not funny to joke about because let's be honest, we all make those remarks that are hurtful to other people, whether it's just saying like, oh, you're retarded, stuff like that. Everything you basically say is, yes, we say stuff like that. I mean, I'll admit it. I've said, oh yeah, man, you're so retarded, blah, blah, blah. To me, that's not big of a deal. But, like, we say, go kill yourself in a joking way. But sometimes, it's just, we say that, and we don't realize that the person actually might. That's the hardest part that I think everybody deals with, is you don't know who is in that situation. And that's probably the hardest part about everything, is that you need to know who's in that situation, because if they're thinking about it, it's just like, hey, I didn't know. I feel bad because I said this and he did. And I don't know. I would not want to be burdened with that task of knowing that I said this to somebody and it ended up happening. I mean, I've never said anything about depression to anybody. It's because I know depression, it's not one of those things you make fun of. Obviously, suicide isn't either. And that's, if you don't know, that's how Robin Williams passed away, was by suicide. They're not exactly sure on all the details, but it's just a very sad time. So, on a good note, the city is coming along pretty good. So, sorry for bringing down the video. It's just one of those times that I really want to talk about it. It was something I felt passionate about because it is a sad moment, guys. So, Sorry for bringing the mood down, but it's just one of those things. Hopefully people understand, and it's just one of those things. But anyways, we'll get off the negative topics of today, and we'll try to get to more positive conversations and get those going, because I don't want to bring you guys down. I mean, it's just one of those things. Oh man, my contacts are burning up. It's ridiculous. Spent the night at my girlfriend's yesterday, kept my contacts in, and oh man, if you don't know, if you don't have contacts, sleeping with them in sometimes, the next morning is just painful. And so is waking up, because you can get like, why is there a big hole here? Huh, that's weird. It can get like a burning sensation in your eyes to where you just keep blinking to water them because they get very dry. And also it's like you get ague. I don't know the exact scientific term for it, but it's like it makes it hard to open your eyes. Oh man. So how wide is this? So let's take out gray wool. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so we need more TNT. Oh man. Well, yeah, we'll use TNT. And what we might do for this over here, thought of a solution. The highway will be deeper, so maybe I will go on PC and finish this off, because we're already at 16 minutes. XPC would definitely make this a lot easier. And hey, maybe the next episode will be on the PC. I mean, things will go by a lot faster when it comes to road clearing and stuff like that, but hey, I think it'd be cool to have a mixture of PC and Xbox at the same time, just because it's a change. Obviously people play different versions of Minecraft. People prefer PC, people prefer consoles. So it's just like a mixing up variety. I know people don't like change. For example, some people weren't exactly happy with the change I made to my channel about tutorials. And I know a lot of people don't really listen too well anymore. Something that I've had a hard time dealing with, because no matter what you put in the description, what you say, people just don't listen to it. They skip forward, they ignore it. But I was talking about like how I'm going to be cutting down on house videos for a while, just because making a house every 3 days was getting difficult for me personally. And the ideas were not as good as they should have been. I mean, when you're making that many houses, you run out of ideas. So people were upset about that. And I think the main reason they were upset was, one, that was a lot of what my channel was based around, was building and tutorials. But tutorials are definitely not an easy thing to do. I mean, some of them are, don't get me wrong, but when you're doing that many tutorials, it's not an easy thing. And also the hardest part for me was trying to find a way to make tutorials entertaining. Because tutorials, you can't really edit the tutorials, because if you do edit the video, then people get mad because you missed something, you forgot to do this, they missed something. So I found out early on that you should not edit tutorials unless you specifically mention that you're gonna like skip this because it's kind of boring, like doing this stuff right here. I could probably skip this if I wanted to, but we're talking. And people have been asking me, how do I make my roads? So this was kind of a solution to that as well. Oh man. So I'm not sure if I've shown you guys down here yet. This is something I just got done working on the other day. So basically this was originally just a plain tunnel, and it took a while to figure out a design for supports, because I wanted to look fancy and unique. And I finally came up with the stroke there. Had a mini stroke, guys. Basically, this was a small little design thing I came up with. Again, using my colors inside the squares. That's gonna be like the theme of the city, the color schemes. We have spruce wood and sand, because those mix well together. And then just some nice supports here. And eventually we're gonna do the same thing over here, just not sure when, because every now and then, I'll be honest, can be kind of lazy. So, basically this is just about it. I mean, we'll probably head over to PC and finish up some of these roads and stuff, and have a PC video come out, because it's been a while since I've made a PC video. So we're gonna go do that. So thanks for watching, guys. Please rate and subscribe. I'll talk to all you guys later. And hey, if you don't want to subscribe, you don't have to. I'm not forcing you to do anything. Do what you want. It's all about what you want. Not about what I want, it's about what you want. So, if it makes you happy to subscribe, go ahead and do it, but I'm not going to force you to do it. Forcing people to do stuff is bad. But hey, you should really subscribe and just saying. So, bye-bye guys, I'll talk to you guys later, and thank you for watching.